Hey everyone, so today's video I'm going to be going over two teams for the upcoming Ash Magesteria rally. These are just going to be 17 teams just so you can get the new Wrath set, or Wrath set? Salvation set, sorry. Because Stage 17 I think is really the only one that matters. Stage 19 and 20, you need Vengeful Hassle. Actually, there is a 19 team where you don't need him, but it's very gear dependent. I'm not going to be talking about that. So if you can't clear 19 or 20, to guarantee that you don't get rare drops, just do 17. And that's what I'm going to be showing you here today for the Ash Magesteria dungeon. So there's truly only one safe team, in my opinion, and it is very hero specific. But this is the safe team. Okay, this is who you need. You need Rosalai, Atara, and Badmar. I do believe that you need Savannah as well to increase the damage on your Rosalai in order to kill the boss quick enough, because the boss does get enough. He gains attack as the fight goes on, and I'll kind of reference that as the attack's going on. So this is kind of important. So my Rosalai, I actually took some artifacts off of her, some relics. So these are her stats here. I know this is still good gear and all of those things, but I believe that if you have an A5 Rosalai with comparable stats, then you should be able to clear this safely. So a pretty standard team. Badmar, Atara. Atara is there to cleanse the bombs. Badmar is there to heal, because you're not going to be clearing all of the minions. So whenever the minions counterattack or use their attacks, Badmar is actually going to keep your team healthy. So pretty cool. Savannah is in there just to die to give Rosalie more attack. And then the Atara is in there not only for removing the bomb, but she increases the health, the sustain of your team, as well as putting attack down 2 on the boss. So this is all really important stuff. This turn order is important. You do want Badmar to be the fastest, because he will receive the first counterattack, and he traditionally has higher health than the Atara, and the counterattack ignores 100% defense. So you definitely want this turn order. So let's get into the run here. I don't know why I took that off auto. This is like a 2-minute run. So this is just the safe slow team, right? So you have the defense spell. Not that I think that is really important, because once you have the Savannah buff from Rosalai, she's going to be able to clear even if the defense spell didn't land. So here we're going in and we're clearing the wave. Even if you don't have enough damage there, that's where the Badmar's AoE heal actually keeps you alive there too, if you don't have enough damage to clear these big imps. Okay, so whenever we get into the boss, this turn order is important, because Rosalie is actually going to have her invincible up to eat the very first counterattack from the boss. So you see the rage bar here is growing. Once that's full, he will then counterattack, and it will ignore 100% defense. So he comes in, does his first attack, heals himself up, you counterattack, and then he puts the bombs up, and you counterattack again, and then he counterattacks, but your invincible's up. So now the next time that counterattack comes around, it's actually going to be on Badmar, which is why it's important that he's in front of Atara, because it's going to deal 28,000 damage. This is why this is the only safe team, is because Rosalie counterattacks to kill those imps. Okay, so here Badmar is going to eat that counterattack. So it deflected, so it did 13,000, but you won't always get deflect. So he needs to be above 35,000 damage, I believe. So here, if your Rosalie is actually built stronger than this one, you won't have to deal with this next round, because this will end up killing, right? So even if you don't survive there, your Rosalie will still have the invincible up the next time that she attacks. So you still have like one full round left, if that makes sense. So like I said, that is the only team that is truly safe. Okay, so that's the safe team, and that team's about 2 minutes long. Now I'll show you a speed team, but first, while we're on it, I'm just going to show you the gear. So Rosalie, like I said, we took her relics off. So she's at 7,600 attack, and then 361% crit damage with 208 speed. The speed doesn't need to be this high. I think for stage 17, you need to be above like 180. So there's room here. Doesn't need to be as fast. She does need to be A5 though for the counterattacks. Oh, sorry, bonus attack. Counterattack is on the special. So here, these are the gear. Obviously it's pretty good gear, but without the relics, I'm hoping that your relics make up for some of the gear disparity. So there we go. Next is Atara. So Atara is built for Rift of Chaos, Fire Boss, Rift of Chaos 2, so she's got 6,000 defense. I don't believe that she needs to be A5 for this. She doesn't need to remove the bombs all the time. And by the time you're looping back around every 2 rounds, she'll cleanse the bomb. So she doesn't need A5. The defense, I don't think it's as important. You're using Rosalie to clear the waves. This does help with your sustain. You need to hit these numbers to progress up to Rift of Chaos anyway. So she's in Raptor gear for the additional focus. The focus here is needed for Rift of Chaos. But for this boss, I don't think it needs to be this high. But it is kind of important because she lands that attack down 2 on the boss. So it's always good to mitigate his damage. And then she just has speed. Again, the speed doesn't need to be this high. This is for Rift of Chaos. She just needs to go before Rosalie, after Badmar. Okay? Badmar is going to end up being pretty tanky just because mine is Ascended 3, and he does have some books in him. So, again, you don't need to hit these requirements, but you probably need to be above like 33,000, 32,000, and his speed can be way less than this, so you should be able to get the health requirement that I mentioned. He's in just speed set, and then he does have some relics on, but that's somewhat irrelevant in this case. And then Savannah is our last one, and she is just built with pure attack. You just want her in attack boots. You don't care how fast she is. You want her health low because you want her to die on the waves, so she can transfer that attack to Rosalie, and she does need Ascended 2, so she can transfer 100% of her attack over the 50%. Okay? So, that is the safe slow team. Now, for the speed team, I'll show you here. The speed team is, and I'm actually kind of proud of this one. I thought it was kind of a cool team. We have Kaysen, who I can't stop pulling. I did put 1 pot into him, but yeah, I pulled 5 copies, which was super annoying. Anyway, so we have Kaysen, we have Shane, we have Huntress Freya, which is going to be good here in Ash, and then also in Gemini Dragon. So she's pretty efficient as a character when it comes to building her, but she's not booked. Shane isn't booked either, but Kaysen is A5 booked, which sucks so bad. And then Timmons is actually fully booked as well. The speeds here, I actually think Timmons can be slow and just built super strong. I was testing them with a couple other builds to see if I could run a speed run without Kaysen, but this is a speed run. These are specific heroes, so if you want a fast team, this is what you're going to get. Kaysen's A5 I don't think is needed. It just helps with his damage. So if you have an A5 Kaysen, the run's going to be faster. But even if he isn't A5, you might be able to get under like sub 130, which is a decent score, I think. So I'm actually going to take off the heal spell because we just want to churn and burn. So here you're using Shane without his skills on because the boss grants a bonus. When you grant a bonus turn, he counterattacks, so you don't want that. So you're just using him for his trait damage. And here you're seeing the joint attacks from Freya, and then the bonus attacks from Timmins, which is actually a pretty cool character, to clear the wave really fast. And then here you're going to get to the boss. You need enough attacks from Timmins and from Freya to trigger the counterattack, because then that is going to trigger Kaysen's counterattack on the boss, doing really big damage. And then he goes in and just wipes the boss. So that's the speed team for 17. It's pretty fast, 45 seconds. So whenever it's on background, it's probably going to be closer to 35, maybe 30. Pretty neat. Yeah, so I'll show you the stats on that team. And maybe explain Tim's a little bit. So for Freya, is she the first one? Oh no, Shane. So Shane, same Shane that we've been showing in basically all the other guides. He's got the resonance set on to proc the joint attacks, which he didn't do. He does need a decent amount of focus if you want to land some defense down too, or you need your Freya to have some focus as well, because Freya also puts defense down too. Like I said, he's just in there for the trait. Him going first is a good thing, I believe, because actually it doesn't matter. Him or Freya can go first. But you definitely want him in front of Timmins and Kaysen, because you want the defense down 2 up first. So those are his stats. You really don't need all of this. You just need him to be the first or second fastest. And you got to make sure that you're clearing the wave so the minions on the wave don't kill him, because you need him for the boss fight. So that's him. Kaysen, we all know how much I hate this guy. This rage mechanic is so wonky, the way it's worded. It's just a pain in the butt. But anyway, this guy is built very strong, which is a bummer that you can only do 17 and 18. The speed team does work for 18, but I was just showing 17 today. It's not as fast on 18. It's like 15 seconds slower or something like that. But I have more attack in him than crit damage because of his trait, stacking attack. So I just wanted to take advantage of that. And then also his leader ability stacks attack as well. So I'm just taking advantage of the multipliers. He's in Assassin. So he works similar to Nathalia, where his abilities will target additional enemies. So if he's in Avarice, that doesn't do more damage from his normal abilities. Now, anytime he does like his special ability or anything like that, those are AoE abilities. So if you do have Avarice on him, he will do good damage against the minions, the little minions that are next to the boss, but you'll maximize his damage on the boss with something like Assassin. Okay, so he's on Assassin set and speed gear. So he's got good gear, he's got good relics. Yeah, so you need to maximize your damage on your damage dealer to do speed runs. So he's to the max, right? Next we have Timmins. So Timmins is a character that I've been wanting to build. He is one of the characters that I was planning to run with Kaysen if I ended up buying that LD selector, which I'm definitely not doing, with Light Ophelia. And I thought or think that team can actually clear stage 20. But that's theory, and it's not worth $250 for theory. So, anyway, for those of you who don't know who Timmins is or what he does, whenever an ally attacks an elite or a boss, and there's more than 3 enemies alive, he goes in and launches a bonus attack with his ultimate, which is pretty cool. And then if he's Ascended 5, he has elemental damage advantage. It's increased by 30%. So he's kind of a cool character. He's in there to help clear the waves, because Kaysen doesn't really have enough damage to clear waves. And then on top of that, he procs enough rage on the boss to trigger the counterattack from the boss, so Kaysen can go in and do his big counterattack AoE. So his ultimate does 130% damage. 110% damage, but each time he uses it, it decreases it. So the first hit is going to be really strong, and then the following hits are going to be pretty weak. He does have a special ability that puts attack down and defense down too. The focus on this really isn't needed, because you're getting the defense down too on Freya and Shane. But I will say that this special ability actually hits pretty hard. It does good damage. And then he gives himself attack up on the basic. So Timmins is actually a pretty cool character. I've been having fun with him. So I have him in Avarice and the Elemental set. So some of these pieces are upgraded because I've had them on stronger characters, and then some of them aren't. Like I said, you don't really need speed on him. You can just build him really high attack if you need additional damage to clear the waves. And then he's maxed out on his damage for his relics. So these are his stats. 5,200 and 423% crit damage. Yeah, so that's Timmins, and then last is Freya, and Freya is also pretty easy to build. Oh, yeah, I did want to mention though that Timmins is fully booked along with Kaysen. So Kaysen is fully booked, and A5, which is so annoying because he sucks. Oh, actually, I did not upgrade his ultimate to get more damage. So, anyway, that's that. Lastly, Freya. Okay, so Huntress Freya. She is unbooked, has 0 ascensions, and these are her stats. So 262 speed, 26,000 health, and she is in just speed set. So you're just prioritizing health and focus, and that's basically all you want. Yeah, pretty straightforward. So anyway, those are the 2 teams, speed team, safe team. Hope you enjoyed. Go crush that Ash Rally when it pops up, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.